All right, so it's getting close to deer season, and I'm building arrows again. So this is a 204 diameter shaft, Black Eagle Rampage. I put the crestings on it, and what I do whenever I build any of my arrows is I cut from each side. I square them off, cut each side off. Works out pretty good for me. I pay right now. I'm probably looking at about 430 grains by the time that I get this done, and like I said, 204 shaft. 204 shafts are, I think, becoming the industry standard as far as hunting arrow sizes. You can go bigger than this. It's still a micro shaft. The 166 shafts, I've used them. They work fine. They're a little bit more brittle than I want them to be. So just a 204 is a good roundabout bit. But squaring off the ends, got the cresting on there. Now we're going to take that Bitzenberger, and we are going to fletch these bad boys up. Now what I'll do with every single one of my arrows, I'll fletch them in an offset. But last season and this year I tried I'm using tack vanes 225s. I was using 275s. And they kept contacting right there on my jaw line. So, and that was in a 3 fletch. So this year I'm going to do a 225 and a 4 fletch. Gives me the same amount of stability, a little bit shorter profile, won't get contact on the face. So I will clean up this jig and we'll get to fletching. Alright, so these are the Ethics Archery. These are the outserts. I got those fletched up. I want to do something a little bit different here. So this is the Ethics Archery outserts with a sleeve collar. So they go in, they look like a regular outsert. They're really, 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 really long, and they're breakable points. And then that sleeve goes over your arrow and over the outsert like that. So I'm used to shooting stuff in the shoulder, so this just gives it a little more beef. But these are 85 grain system, so I'm going to run the 85 grain system on it. Now with these, you got to do something a little bit different. You got to sand it. So I got 300 grit, 320 grit sandpaper. They're going to be a little snug, so you got to sand them. Be careful not to take off too much. I'm going at a quick speed because I know about how long it took to get this. But just put your outsert collar on and make sure that it slides on there pretty freely. Okay, after test fitting and everything works, we're ready to glue up. Before you ever glue any arrows, this is the biggest mistake that I've seen people make, is not taking their nocks out. Now watch what happens whenever I don't take my nock out. See how it stays up? All that air is going to be pushing that outsert back up because it can't get no air out the other side. You got to be pretty quick with this stuff because it wants to set up real quick. Spin it down, take your outsert, spin that on down. Clean your excess glue off. Now we're at the painstaking process of shooting every single one of these arrows and seeing how they tune. And if you want to make sure that every one of your arrows and your broadheads are going to fly straight, you need to do this. They were a little knock high. I think we got it pretty much knocked, figured out. So take a couple more shots, shoot them, and see what we got. All those holes look pretty good. 75 pounds will wear you out, so it's time to go fling some. Gonna impact high since I raised it up, but we're gonna find out. 30 on the nose. Right there. This wind does not help anything. Jump back, try these other arrows out. Stack it in there. So there you go, guys. That's the arrow build. Ethics Archery. Check them out. So far they're doing pretty good. The only thing that I wish is that I didn't have to shave down the end of the shaft. Of course, it didn't make much of a difference. The arrows are still within half a grain to a grain of each other. So it's just me for a personal preference. I would rather they be the size and you just slip them on and glue them on. But it is what it is. They work out good. These arrows ended up around about 430 grains, 75 pounds. So that'll kill anything in North America. So we'll see how they do on deer. But there's the build, guys. Y'all take care.